We've talked about this hanging guard here, we've talked about this tap here, the middle guard here, we've talked about this low hanging guard here. Same on the other side, you can use that tap this way for the low strikes. We've got this. Fencing side of stick fighting is its origins. Okay, and what I mean by that is, everybody will give you different theories, but I'll give you a fact. The way I approach this, first of all, is the assumption that we're going to be using this as a walking stick. So you're going to have it in your hand like this. If you say you were left-handed, if you want to take it in your left hand, take it in your left hand, if that's how you would hold it if you were walking with it. Okay, now if you're walking along with it and you are attacked, the natural thing to do is to take it this way. Okay, so in other words, not that way, you're going to take it by the handle end. All right, so we practice first of all holding it by the handle end. Okay, if this was a sword, we'd be holding it right at the end, wouldn't we? We'd be holding it at the handle there if it was a saber or something. With a stick, we don't do that. We hold it more here so that we've got this as a guard, but also because with the length of it, it would be difficult to control holding it at the very end. We want a bit more control, we're holding it here. I want to have it pointed at my opponent's throat. That sort of height with it, right? We're keeping this left hand live here. So either like a boxer's guard, and we can throw a jab from it, or simply with the hand open. A lot of stick fighting manuals will tell you to keep the stick horizontal or vertical. I'm not a fan of that for the simple reason, if the opponent has got a great big heavy stick like that and it comes over the top and I go like that, there's every chance my stick's going to break and I'm in this situation, which I don't want. So when we parry, it's going to come here like this, so that his stick runs off my stick like this. All right, so you're keeping it here like this. So this is called a hanging guard because the stick is hanging down this way. All right, so from here, this is like our reset position. You're just going to go straight up to the hanging guard. Yeah, straight up to the hanging guard. Some will hold it like that, but the traditional way to hold it is like this with the thumb here. If I had a stick as thick as that, or like that, I maybe wouldn't do. I'd maybe hold that more of a kind of baseball back grip. But when we're talking about a cane, a walking stick like that, I would use that. And the same reason why we use that is the same reason that that's how you hold a sword in saber fencing, or how you would hold an Okinawan side. It's because of the way that you can manipulate the wrist with it if you're not locked like that. So the traditional Irish way is to hold it like that. But what you shouldn't do, don't extend your thumb like that, because if you do encounter some force, your thumb's going to get bent back. So you kind of want your thumb to be on the button, but not extended, if that makes sense. These are going to be your basics. The high hanging guard, the low hanging guard. But then we've got the question of what happens if it comes on the other side. So with this one, if he's coming to kind of strike to my head here, this is perfect. If he's coming this side, what a lot of people will do is one of these. I don't like it because it's not strong. It's awkward for me. So what we need to do, if we were saber fencing, we'd just do this, because the saber has got a handguard on it. So when his stick slides down, or his sword, it hits the handguard and is fine. But I quite like my knuckles, so I don't want that to happen. So what you've got to do with this one is, when it comes in, you've got to bounce it like that, so that you get him away from you. So you've got that little bump, yeah? Now, let's talk about the strike. If you don't do it to the right target, will do nothing. If you hit someone here, right, so what? Even in the ribs, the best target is the knuckles and the wrist. So when you're striking like this, don't always assume that it's a head strike. You can assume that you go in for the knuckles and the wrist. Okay? What we'll do is a slight side step, and we'll come here or here. All of this is good, and all of that is going to cause him either to drop his stick or not be able to manipulate his stick as well. Prime target, knuckles, wrist. Other target, knees. Anywhere on the face, temples. You know, all the places you go to in the martial arts room. We've talked about this hanging guard here. We've talked about this tap here. The middle guard here. We've talked about this low hanging guard here. Same on the other side, you can use that tap this way for the low strikes. We've got this. I just want to move now away from the fencing attitude. The fencing side of stick fighting is its origins. Okay, and what I mean by that is, everybody will give you different theories, but I'll give you a fact. In the 18th century, when the Irish rebels were going and joining the Irish Brigade, and they were joining Napoleon and all of these things, they were training to fight with sabres, broadswords. When they started stick fencing, it was to practice for using a sword. It was originally like the way you would use a bokken or a shinai in kendo instead of fighting with katanas, the same thing. It was kind of later that they started using the walking stick, if you like, as a weapon in its own right. So a lot of the basics come from fencing, but then they differ from fencing in the sense that even in like Olympic fencing, like the foil, it's supposed to be, even though it's not sharp, it's supposed to represent a rapier. So if you watch Olympic fencing, you can't grab the blade even though it's blunt, because you couldn't do that to a rapier. We can grab the stick, all right? So when he comes in here, if these were swords, I would want to get away from that deadly blade and keep at that kind of range, okay? With it being a stick, I can enter more here. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to get under the stick, I'm going to enter here, I'm going to take his hand so that I'm controlling the hand, and I'm going to strike. I can strike with the length of it, or I can strike with the butt of it. So he comes in and attacks, we're moving here. Eddie said, what if he grabs yours? The answer is, you get in quick before he does with the Dublin kiss, right? So, you're getting straight in with the head. Remember, it's not boxing, guys, there's no rules. Go in with your head, go in with your knee. Don't deliver your headbutt straight on if you can help it. Don't do this. If you do that, it's too easy to block it, or they'll put the head down and you'll clatter your skulls together. If you can deliver your headbutt with a flick to the side, like that, it's better. ideally into his temple. Boom, like that. We deliver it with a flick. So this is the traditional Irish way of delivering the headbutt. If we come here, I'm going for this technique, So I'm going to do a little bit of empty hand now. Okay, so when you're in that situation where you've lost your stick, you are going to start having to come in with the head, with the hands, with the feet. As you've got a regular jab, a regular cross, what my dad would do as well then is follow that with an elbow up here. Now where we are aiming the elbow is quite a specific place. It's the eyebrow, okay? But one of the reasons why we're aiming for the eyebrow is because of how much blood it produces. It's not much, because the eyebrow and the cheekbone, what they do is the skin tears from the inside out. Now, a lot of people, if they're not having 10 fights a week, when they taste blood and there's blood running into their eyes, they don't want to fight anymore. Right, that's it. That is when the white flag goes up. So the way this comes is, as you are going to do a cross, this is going to come in here. Yeah, and it's important that we cut with the point of the elbow. A lot of people will do these and they'll go with the forearm, but that is padding. You'll get much more of an effect if you use the point of the elbow. That will be like a knife slicing across there. So it's going to come here, and my advice, guys, when you're doing this is you want to drop your body mass into it, okay? If you are just using, for any technique, if you are just using your arm or whatever, it's got nothing in it. You've got to put your waist in it. If you can put all of that critical mass of your body going into it, it's like being hit with a 10-stone baseball bat or whatever weight you are. So it's dropping it into there. When you strike, breathe out, okay? This, people do it subconsciously without thinking about it. If you watch tennis, you hear them hitting the ball like that, don't you? Some tennis players are really noisy like that. As well as it forcing all of your energy out, the other thing that it does is it hardens your body in the case of a counter attack. So you harden your body as you strike with it like that. Now see with this, how many things could potentially go wrong with a punch? You could hurt your knuckles if you dropped an elbow like that, couldn't you? You'd smash your knuckles on that. Yeah. You could hurt your wrist if you hit it wrong. Yeah. This, if that's not right, you're gonna hurt. This is why a lot of the time when a boxer puts wraps on, they're not wrapping the knuckles, they're wrapping that to keep it correct. Yeah, to stop that from happening. Yeah. If we're not wearing wraps, there's a lot that can go wrong. What we're going to do instead is a good slap, right? So the way that we're going to slap is from the waist and from a position of complete relaxation, and just come this way, all right? So this is it again. It's a situation where maybe you've lost your stick, maybe he's grabbed hold of your stick, and you're just going to come round, give him one on the temple, give him one on the jaw. Yeah, but it's got to be completely relaxed. It's going to come like that. So same again, guys. Don't lift your shoulder, don't lift your elbow. keep everything down low as you strike. Then put that breath into it again. My dad always liked open hand techniques. He had a good punch on him, but he always liked the slap and the palm strike. This, you know, the old palm heel. Really, really useful technique. I want to go back to sticks now.